A popular fitness influencer was uppermooned by her estranged husband, and the off-duty cop just happened to be there when it happened. Meet Gloria Zamora, a mother of 7, fitness star, and podcast host of Horizon. She had over 150,000 followers and was known for uplifting women. But on Saturday night in Fontana, California, her life was cut short.
Hello lovelies, Queen Choma here. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So on today's video is about a social media fitness influencer who was unalived by her estranged husband with her boyfriend on the process of them getting a divorce. So without wasting much time, we'll go and watch the videos, and when we come back, we'll talk a bit about it. And guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm begging you, please. And don't forget to like my video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
Around that specific time, which was like a year and a half ago, that's when my whole second marriage started falling apart, because obviously I'm like dedicating time into fitness and trying to grow something and seeing even the opportunity or even thinking that this can even become something, you know? So people started getting insecure and not allowing me to thrive in something that I'm just so passionate about, you know? So I felt like that person was just holding me back. And, you know, I decided to end my second marriage. And that's when a lot of the problems started to were bringing me down mentally, talking about like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what do you think you are? You think that you're this fitness influencer all of a sudden? Like, you really think you can do that? So it's like, when somebody wants to test me or como se dice, como retarme, que te reten.
Yeah.
You know,
they want to challenge you.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't challenge me, because I'm going to prove you wrong. Like, for real. I think that has always been my life. You know, when people used to say, like, you're not going to amount to anything because you're a teen parent and you already went through one marriage, failed marriage. Like, you're nothing. Who's going to want you with 3 kids? Like, nobody's, you know?
You like to prove people wrong.
Hell yeah.
Constantly.
I'm going to prove you wrong, because I feel like I've always needed to prove people wrong from a very young age, you know, coming up from a broken home, you know, having an alcoholic dad, my mom just being out there, a hustler, working, trying to provide for her 4 kids because the dad wasn't around and stuff like that. I just knew that I was not going to be that girl that was a teen parent and just allow for somebody to dictate my life, even though it took me a lot of years to get there, though. Because even though I'm a woman, like, I don't mind being submissive to my man. Like, I don't mind it. I love being a woman, but there's times where these men put you to act like a freaking man. And
they put you on your masculine.
Literally, yes.
Sure.
And I used to hate that about being in these 2 relationships. I hated that me being a woman, a lot of it, I'm acting like I'm the man in the relationship. And I'm the one that's always trying to, like, let's grind, let's hustle. Like, we were able to do this. Like, I want more. Yeah. Like, let's go do more. Like, you and I, like, let's grind. But him and
you're in the mentality of the power couple, and we have so much more we can do.
Yes. And it's more like, settle down.
Yeah.
Like,
calm down. You're doing too much.
Yeah, you're doing too much. Why do you want more? You should just settle with where you have, living in a bitch-ass apartment and a shithole apartment. Like, that's not me. You know, from a young age, I've always wanted more.
You knew you always wanted more.
You've
always been ambitious. You've always been driven.
Ambition.
Life has thrown so many obstacles at you now, gotten to know you, your life story, and getting to know you. And to be honest, I look up to the fact that you not once looked at yourself as a victim. Yes, you went through a lot of things, right?
I went through a lot,
and you overcame so many. But not, yes, and I'm sure you had your moments where you cried, which, you know, valid. And, you know, but you kept going and you didn't give up, and you still are.
I still don't give up.
You still don't give up. And you still are. I think this is your prime, where you know who you are and you know what you're capable of, and no one's going to stop that. So either you join me or get out of my way.
Yeah, that's literally me. If you're not going to join me, you're not going to support me, knowing that you see this in me and you're not supporting me, it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
It's because you have the wrong partner.
Literally.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes a really secure man to really value like what they have at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I'm just And everybody has, like how we talked about earlier, everybody has like their life journey.
Yes.
You know, I don't think my life journey was to be somebody that can settle. Even though I feel like I wish I had like what these other girls had, to where they get married and their man, because there is men out there. There is men out there that they praise their women and they acknowledge how great of a woman, mom, whether you're a stay-home mom, whether you're a stay-home mom or you go out and you make money just like your husband does, but they don't treat them like shit.
They allow them to walk in that, and they support it and empower it.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't have an issue with being submissive. I think like us as women, but there's an extent to that. You know, sure. There's an extent to where you can be submissive to your man. You can be in your femininity with your man. I'm okay with that in my house. If my man can put me in my femininity, I'm going to stay there. You're my king. I'm going to treat you like 100%. You are my everything.
For sure.
But the moment that you don't treat me good and you don't appreciate who I am, like even my person of who I am, and you don't allow me to be me to my fullest, like I'll eventually get to the point where like, yeah, I'm not appreciated.
Yeah.
Because I hated that's who I am with my first marriage and this one. I hated the fact that I can be submissive to you and I can be this wonderful woman because I'm a girl. This is my day to day. I go to work. I come home. I take care of my kids. I feed them. I clean. I'm very domestic. Like I'll clean my household. Like I'll make sure my shit is clean. I'll make sure that my stuff is organized.
You handle all your responsibilities.
Everything.
And some.
And all I want you to do is treat me like I should be treated.
Yes. And
allow me to be me.
And that's already
Don't
hard.
stop me. Don't prevent me from doing things, or don't, I think like when you're in a situation like that, I hate that in the two marriages that I just give myself, like completely give myself, to where I feel like there's a part where these men start taking advantage of that. I don't know,
because they know they have, it's what it is. It's like they know they have you.
I just saw some very unfortunate news that Gloria Zamora in Fontana, California passed away. Like, she and her new boyfriend was unalived by her husband at a restaurant when they were leaving this sushi place after they were on a date. That leaves 11 children without their parents. That is so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Now, I know her and her husband were having some problems for a while, because I know she got arrested for domestic violence on him back in January when he was like allegedly like going through her phone or something, and she attacked him. And then when the police came, he had bruises on him, so she was arrested, and she filed for a divorce 2 weeks ago. And I think, he just didn't want them not to be together. They've been married for 16 years. She has 7 kids. Her new boyfriend had 4 daughters. Oh, it's so sad and so heartbreaking. I tell people all the time, the most dangerous time for a woman is when she leaves. And that's why so many stay for so long. And it's just heartbreaking. And the husband ended up getting unalived by the police. And it's so sad. Now those kids have no parents. Oh, just say a prayer for the kids, y'all. Say a prayer for the kids.
I don't know if y'all heard about the story of a girl whose ex-husband exed her and the guy that she was dating in Fontana. And I have some notes just so I don't miss anything, but something told me to come on here and really warn people, especially ladies, to be careful who you date. Don't ignore signs of control and jealousy. There's a lot of red flags and a lot of patterns that I've seen in my personal experience of men who cannot control their emotions. And that's from narcissism, gaslighting, manipulating, whatever it may be. I always told myself, do not date a man who is insecure, who has self-esteem issues, who does not feel good or confident about himself. But on the other hand, I've always told myself, you need someone that can lead, that you respect, that also has a good head on his shoulders. So the red flags, 1, being controlling. Where are you going? What are you doing? Why? Number 2, stalking. Yes, to a certain extent, it may be a little normal because all of us kind of look through social media posts, whatever, but I'm talking very in depth and almost obsessing over it. Number 3, jealousy. Jealousy is a huge red flag. There's a okay aspect, and then there's the one where you're going too far and you might need help in that area. Number 4 is asking about your past, but asking about your past in a way where it's like, why do you need to know this? What's the point of it? You know, we're all adults. We've all had people we've been with, right? I don't need to know your number. I don't need to know all the details, right? Maybe just, hey, how come it didn't work out with so and so? And like, nothing too in depth, okay? Let's keep it healthy. Number 4, if they ask to borrow money, unless you guys have been together and it's a great partnership and everything is healthy, that's fine. Just know that in the beginning, you know, we're all on a high. It almost feels like you're on a drug because it's just all this dopamine rush, right? But just remember that during those times you might not be making the best decisions. And so if you think that you're in love and this person asks to borrow money, don't do it. Number 5, being cheap on dates. Some of these my mom actually told me. Don't be with a guy that's going to be cheap on a date. It's all, you know, an investment to try to get to know people, and there's networking and whatever, but it's at the end of the day an investment that you're making to potentially take things further, right? And then there's the people that are just in it for either fun or to use you. And at the end of the day, that's a lesson for you, right? And number 6, love bombing. If they're too much in the beginning and you're not comfortable with it, whether it's, I don't know, just saying, you're my world and you're my everything and I can't live without you. Like, those are words that are a little scary because you want to make sure that they are stable mentally. And the next one is secluding you from friends, from family, trying to isolate you. I've had this happen, and you don't realize it's happening at the moment, but you're just trying so hard to make this person happy and keep them secure. And then the next thing you know, your girlfriends are saying, hey, how come you don't come out a lot anymore? How come I don't see you as much? How come you're not posting as much? And when you're really happy and in a healthy relationship, you should be glowing. You should be with someone who's supporting everything that you're doing. And as long as, of course, it's a good, healthy thing. I'm going to keep using the word healthy because we want to make sure that we know and we can notice the healthy patterns and behaviors. And then the next one is calling you names. Don't call each other names. Don't cuss each other out. Always try to keep it graceful and respectful. Sometimes when you get mad, you might slip a WTF, but other than that, actually being toxic, avoid that. And I think I'm on number 9, addictions. So one thing about people with addictions is their brain behaves differently. So if you are a recovering addict, whatever, that's great, right? But if you are still a struggling addict, go through it on your own and don't involve others in it and bring others down and expect them to be your escape or expect them to help you through that ride, because it is a turbulent one and it's something that you need to deal with alone before you try to drag someone else down. So learn to heal before you try and cope with it in different ways. Another one is when they threaten to X themselves, or maybe the worst thing is even X you. Don't take that lightly, because that means that they're highly emotionally unstable and trying to manipulate, and you never want to be with someone that is going to mess around with threats like that. And then, of course, all this comes down to being unable to regulate emotions. You have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to be emotionally mature. You have to be stable. You have to learn how to communicate. And at the end of the day, you and your partner should be growing together. You and your partner should be working towards the same goals. You and your partner should be on the same page. And if they're not bringing you peace, and if your partner seems to have a bad temperament, that's something that they need to work on. And even if it means going to therapy, whatever, just don't avoid that situation. And for someone going through DV actively, don't hesitate to reach out and really lean on the people that are around you that you trust.
Good morning. I want to give my quick opinion real quick on this Gloria Zamora situation. But before I do, I just want to say this real quick. Man, this has to stop. Like, this killing women, not being able to let go, not being able to move on. Like, it's got to stop. First, we had that one guy who was like Middle Eastern that broke into his girl's house, or his ex-girl's house, when she was with another guy. I don't know if y'all remember, a couple of years ago, they were like influencers. He killed her. Then you had that guy from Vegas who that girl broke up with. He killed her. And now you got this, man. It's just a sad reality. And just, you know, like, I mean, there's no perfect way to know who's gonna be who. You never know, because people are bullshitters. But I mean, there's probably signs, you know, hopefully you could look out for early on. You know, if they're too, it's okay to set boundaries, but if they're too overprotective, probably DV. If they're love bombers constantly, probably DV motherfuckers. So just do your due diligence. But I just want to give my hot take real quick. Personally, I feel like he felt entitled. I felt like he put too much into the relationship to just let her go and walk away. From his time, from his resources, he felt like he wasn't going to leave with nothing. And from her being a very strong, independent woman and having her own thing going, I felt like she was okay with leaving, and he just wasn't going to take that. And her talking about it set him over the edge, and he probably sent her messages telling her, like, you know, I'm not the one, or, you know, whatever. And she, probably being a strong, independent woman, was like, I've already been through failed relationships. Like, I'm not afraid to go through another one. And he just couldn't handle that. And it was just too much for him. And he snapped. And when it comes to how did they track him, or her, how did they track her, how did he find her, or whatever the case may be, come on, dude. You could literally, in your head, think about a tracking device, and you go on Instagram or TikTok, and there's like 5 fucking videos of tracking devices of TikTok shop, or you scroll through Instagram and there's like ads for tracking you don't even gotta say it. You could just think about it and it comes up on your feed. But it's just a sad reality, and rest in peace. Stay safe, ladies.
Spoke out about her pending divorce to her thousands of followers just last week on the Horizon podcast.
Instead of you being supportive, you're over here trying to like just bring me down.
On Saturday night, the 40-year-old alongside 43-year-old Hector Garduno was shot and killed outside a Fontana sushi restaurant. Investigators say Zamora's estranged husband, Thomas Alberto Tamayo Lizarraga, gunned down the two in the parking lot.
This is why I tell people never to date anybody who's going through divorce, because you don't know the psyche of the other spouse and what they're thinking. And again, my condolences to the family. I understand there's 7 children that are now orphans because of this event, but this happens way too often. Like, you remember this guy, he was a TikTok star, now he's serving life in prison. His wife wanted a divorce, so what did he do? He put some sort of app on his daughter's iPad to listen in on her conversations, and when she went on a date with somebody, he went, met them at the apartment, and unalived them. Here's another case as well. And it's not just the men. You remember this story? This man asked for a divorce, and what did this woman do? She called him on a video call and said, say goodbye to your son. and she unalived him and her on the call. It happens. And this also happened to me back in 2016 when I first started dating. On Match, there's a status says separated. I went on a date with a woman who was separated, told me she was going through a divorce. We meet, and on the date, she's really nervous. She keeps looking behind her shoulder. And I'm like, are you okay? She goes, oh, I'm just nervous to meet you. I'm really excited. I'm like, okay. About 20 minutes later, her husband bursts through the club. He rushes our booth. He starts yelling at me. He starts saying, you're the guy who's fucking my wife. You're the reason why she wants a divorce. I'm like, I just met her. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, dude, here's the conversation. I swear to you, I just met her a couple days ago. I don't know who she is. And he let me go. But think about that. I could have been unalived, just like these guys in these stories, if he had the intention to do it. He walked up to me, completely surprised me. So again, for those that are considering dating somebody going through divorce, I urge you, don't do that. For your own safety, stay clear until the situation's resolved, the divorce is finalized, and everything's kind of calm, because unfortunately, there's crazy people out there like you've seen in these stories. You don't know what they're going to do or what they're capable of doing. They may be fine with the divorce, but when they first thought or the idea or they see their spouse, soon to be ex-spouse, going on a date with somebody else, that can trigger something, and you don't want to be in the middle of that. Again, my condolences to that family and all their losses. This is inexcusable, but it's a reality.
So guys, please let me know what you think in the comment section. As for me, I just think that both of them were wrong, and nobody is justifying any action. I'm not justifying any action. It's not a reason for you to take a life. You cannot take a life when you cannot give it. So the woman could have just waited for them to finalize the divorce before entering into a new relationship. That is what I think. Because if you have finalized your divorce, you are no longer his wife. You are free to go into any relationship that you want to go into. He's not going to come for you. But this one, you are still his wife, and look at what happened. And both of you lost and left the innocent children to go through all of this. It's just so sad. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what your opinion is, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe, please. Thanks for watching. Bye.